Hello, my YouTube world. This is Johnny Moe coming to you with an official review of the Toro Time Master cutting. This is going to be an in-depth review. I have two. I have two of them. Of course, I have two of everything. If I'm going to buy one, I'm going to buy two, just so I'm not down. And with these machines, you might want to have two. But here we go. I want to do an official review. This is my thoughts and opinions about this machine. This is coming from a commercial guy who uses this mower roughly between an hour and 45 minutes and 2 hours a week. You decide if that's a lot or not. If anything, I'm using that thing the majority of the time. So let's go over some of the stuff that I like. This can be random. I don't have notes or anything, so whenever it comes to my head is what I'm going to go ahead and come up with. So it's not going to be, note driven or anything like that. I wanted to show you the underneath of the mower to show you how to get this mower to also perform in its best capacity. Right now the mulch block is in. I'm mulching because it's dry. And mulching with this mower, it does a pretty good job. The only thing is if you're cutting wet grass, it will not mulch very well. Or if you're cutting very high grass, again, any mower cutting high grass is going to have an issue. Some of the things that you have to watch for is this deck plugs really easy. I noticed that right here it really starts to build up and it comes into about right here, and same thing with right here. Well, what happens is the plug is right there, or the hole for bagging is right there. So if this side's getting plugged up, that means this side's gonna be mulching while this side's bagging, and it could plug up very quickly. And so cutting wet grass with this is just not suggested. Some things I don't like about it, it's like, see, you got little nuts and bolts right here. Well, this is a place where you can catch grass very quickly, and that's what happens. It builds up grass. Here's another little knob right there. See it? Little knob right there, and it builds up grass. Now this is relatively clean because I haven't really been using it, but you get it in wet grass, this whole thing will plug up. It's not a very good quality cut machine. If you're cutting dry grass, you can, like I said, you can mulch it. The best cutting quality that I found is keeping good airflow in this deck. What I mean is keeping this deck clean, especially here and here, here and here. Right where these little knobs are, they collect grass. As you can see, it's like freaking cement. There's knob here, knob here, knob here, knob here, knob. They got little knobs everywhere. And keeping it clean and the blade sharp is your best defense against a poor quality cut. I cut all my lawns, or every 7 days that I cut with this. I do not have an issue with it. When it's high, I bag it. I keep airflow moving. It's fine. Another thing that I did to make sure that this machine cuts really well is I adjusted this governor spring. You need to have an adjuster. This governor spring, I just bent this forward a little bit, turned it up to 3,600 RPMs. The reason why I did that is because when I got it was 32. It wasn't leaving a good quality cut. These blades got to be razor sharp, and for me, it's not a big deal. I don't know anyone that maintains mowers as good as me. It's just a confident statement. Every morning at 7 o'clock, it is now 7:15. I'm out here every day making sure these mowers, that mower there just got its blade sharpened. This still has sharp blades. That one there has dull blades. That needs to be undone. So these mowers, that mower there, every 2 days, after the second day of mowing, those blades are stripped off and we start all over again. Now, the reason why I bought this mower over the Toro Turf Master, number one, I can almost buy two of them for the price of that one. That's not a big deal if it wasn't for the fact that this little thingy right here is the same in the Toro Turf Master. So what you've done is you've taken that transmission and you put it in the Toro Turf Master and you increase the weight. Doesn't make sense to me. This machine has gone through two transmissions. 2. This machine is going on 2 years old, so it's averaging about one a year. This one here I bought last year, and it is now just about ready to go through its first transmission. I use this one here. I interchange them, so I'm not hammering the hours on any one of them. What I've done here recently is I've taken this and I've tightened this down. Everyone says, oh, that'll fix your problem, you don't have to worry about it. Well, I've done that with it. Here's what happens when you tighten that down. You lose, look how tough it is now. You got to really push hard, and you've lost speed control. What I mean by that, speed control, is this one here is new. I just put a new transmission in it about maybe a month and a half to 2. So I can lightly push and only go a little bit fast. This one goes from 0 to 4 within just an inch of push. You've lost your speed control. What will happen now is that'll slowly wear down to the point the transmission's gone. This is a design flaw in this machine. This is the biggest design flaw I've found in the Toro Time Master, is the machine. Would I buy another? I'm going to tell you yes, and the reason why I would buy another, because it fits such a niche for me. I've eliminated all 21-inch push mowing. I think it's just, for me, it cuts good enough for what I'm doing. Would I suggest it for you? Not sure. As far as maintenance goes, very easy to maintain. I change the oil. It says every 50. I change it every 25. The Briggs engine, I've had no trouble with the power of this engine. If you're trying to mulch heavy grass, your engine's going to bog down. Be sensible. Continue to keep airflow. What I do is I put the bag on. When I put the bag on, it creates airflow, and it keeps the grass moving through the deck. It doesn't keep grass stuck in the deck. See, what happens when you're trying to mulch heavy grass, it's trying to process it, mulch it, and then get new grass in there. It doesn't have time to process everything, and then everyone says, oh, this is a terrible deck. Well, obviously, it's only, 8.5 horsepower, 8.75 horsepower, and you're trying to take grass that's, you're trying to take 4 or 5 inches off grass and then mulch it down to nothing. Well, you're going to have some issue, guys. I mean, I don't know too many machines that would mulch that down. So you got to create airflow by bagging. If you don't have a place to put the clippings, you're obviously going to have some issues. Alrighty, so the engine I'm happy with. The power of it's fine. I have turned my engines up. I showed you right here. This is the governor spring, and I turned it up. And I have an RPM measure in there, and I put it on the spark plug, and it tells me how many RPMs. I make sure this is humming at 3,600 RPMs, not 32. My Kohlers, I put my Kohlers at 3750 plus or minus 50. Very important. Keep this changed. I change the oil every 25 hours. It's pretty easy to figure out if I'm only using it 2 hours a week. So about the middle of the 3rd month, oil gets ripped out. Here is a problem that I've had with it. Toro knows about it. They claim that they are going to fix it. Now, when the gas is up here, all the way up into here, when you fill up your gas tank, there's a diaphragm in here, and it lets it breathe a little bit. What happens is this engine vibrates, and all that gas soaks that diaphragm down in there, and then it creates like a vapor lock on the really hot days. This is all black, and you can imagine how hot it gets. But what happened is it would go through, and it would just spill out and run all the way down in the lawns and create damage in the lawns. You got to catch it. Now, could it just be that one was a dud? Could it be that one was just a dud? Because they both did it on the exact same day, doing the exact same thing. Transmissions, could it be that I bought a dud? Sure, but I've got 2 transmissions in that one. Could it be that this one's a dud? This one's about to go through a transmission. The fuel vent cap air is the problem with this. How we fixed it is we took this cloth type material, breathable material, and we stuck it in here just like this. I did it to both. It fixed it. Toro is supposedly working with Briggs & Stratton to fix this issue. They know about the issue. It will leak gas. It will not start. It'll give you issues. So my mechanic came up with that idea, and it fixed the issue for me. Like yesterday, it was 92 plus 70 dew point. I did not have an issue running this machine. So that did fix it. Issues that you're going to run into is definitely that transmission. The reason why I think that this is a good machine, it's a good design, just needs a little bit better transmission in it, and I think you got something here. I don't know about the blade setup. I think it doesn't create enough lift because it is a mulching blade, so that there's still some design flaws in it, but it really fits my need, and I really enjoy using them. And I probably would buy another because it just fits a need. I don't want to carry a walk behind, 32-inch walk behind, because this one transformed to mulching, side discharging, and bagging so quickly, whereas a walk behind can't. This isn't my main piece of equipment, so take that into consideration when you're reviewing this video. Do I think that you should buy it? I'm not sure that you should buy it. If it's your main mower, you better have two. Now, here comes the stuff that you're going to think I'm a little arrogant on. Does that transmission bother me? It does. But I like the niche that it fills. If I was just push mowing, I would be probably frustrated with that transmission. That transmission is between $150 and $160. That's not going to break me. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. I'm trying to switch them in and out so I don't hammer one transmission. Good morning. But that's why I have two. That's why I have two of them. That way, if one goes down, I have another one. No big deal. As far as maintenance, keep the blades absolutely sharp. Keep up with it. Also, like this factor of it, you can pull this little lever, and this will come upright, just like you see right there. Here, I'll put it up in the air, and you can see. I love this fact. It creates extra room in your trailer. Look at that. I like that. I think that that is just an awesome feature. The mower is good for what I'm using it for. It might not be good for what you're using it for. If I was Toro, I would keep tweaking with this. I would adjust the horsepower maybe a little bit. I would definitely fix that fuel cap problem, because up here in the Northeast, we've had multiple people have this issue. Now, it is fixed for me, but they need to fix it out of the factory. That was just a temporary fix that someone came up with. My mechanic came up with, because he's a genius. And so it works very well. But having said that, I don't suggest you adjusting your governor to do the things that I've done. If this engine would blow, it would not be covered under warranty. I've never blown an engine by turning up the governor, but that's me, 19 years in the business, adjusting RPMs to make sure that I'm getting full RPMs. Having said all that, this is my official review of the Toro Time Master. This is my #1 question. Should I get a Time Master? I don't know. I can't tell you what equipment to buy. It might not work in your area. I don't know what kind of grass you're cutting. I'm cutting Northeastern, Kentucky Blue, rye, and a fescue mix. Those three mixes are difficult to cut in the spring, but I can say that this, with the bagger on it, has been able to cut it sufficiently, leave a clean cut, and no issues. And I'm taking off a lot. If I had to mulch that, this mower would be a piece of junk. There's no way you're mulching that grass mix with this mower. You can definitely, in the heat of the summer, 80 degrees, Kentucky Blue likes to fall off, and rye doesn't like to grow as good. The fescue wants to fall down and over. It cuts it fine. There's no issue with it. So if one of these went down, would I buy another? Yes, I think I would buy another, just because I like having a 30-inch mower as opposed to a 21. I think I'm faster with it. It cuts time down, and that's just my opinion. That's why I bought two. Listen, for the price of what I would pay for a Toro Turf Master, I could almost buy two. Now, if that Turf Master had a better transmission, I would probably buy the Turf Master, only because it's more heavy duty. I haven't had any issues with these. I'm not using them a lot. I'm not powering them. I'm not destroying them. So if I was destroying these mowers, putting 30, 35 hours a week on it, I definitely wouldn't buy this mower. Definitely would not buy the mower. If you putting that many hours on it, you're going to have issue. That's my official review of this mower.